I can't stress enough how I really want this to be a gaming channel. For a big reason why I want this to be a gaming channel is because, first off, I like video games, and I've always wanted this channel to be a gaming channel. But another reason is because like I said, I do what I call raw uploads. You know what I'm saying? Like I get in front of the camera, I talk my talk, and then I upload that into my computer. The problem is that the original video is so big that like it takes up space on my computer, and I have like so many of these videos. I actually had to delete a few of my past vlogs that are saved into my computer just so my computer could just do things. So like now I kind of have to, so like it's back starting from square one, and this has always been a problem for me because I don't understand why raw video is so massive. But I got rid of some of my weekly vlogs that I saved in my computer. The good thing is I could just download them from YouTube, right? So, you know, well, here's the hoping anyway. With that being said, I want to take this time to talk about Donald Trump. I have been trying to avoid the subject of Donald Trump and the national election for quite some time now, and I've been doing really poorly at it. But I have been trying to not bring it up as much. But I really do feel like now's a good time to actually address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is, why is this? What is this? Why is this on my shirt? Oh. The elephant in the room is the election is literally a month away. If not, it's a couple of weeks, right? And in the process, and this election is close. And it's really kind of annoying me because, like, I want to just go ahead and start this off by saying the president is a job. It's not a person. It's not a person. It's a job. Anybody in America can be president. Seriously. Well, not anybody, but it's like you have certain requirements to be a president in America, and these requirements basically make it so that a good bit of American citizens can be president. Anybody can be elected to be Speaker of the House. You don't have to even work at the House. You don't even have to work at the House of Representatives to be elected for the Speaker of the House. So if you get enough votes, anyone can be Speaker of the House. I know it's crazy. To put this in perspective, if you got enough votes to be Speaker of the House and you've never dealt with politics before, you never worked in the House of Representatives before, if you got it, you would be Speaker of the House. You get appointed, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, right there. Crazy, right? I know. So I'm saying this to say that political positions are just that, political positions. These are jobs that anybody can get with enough votes. And with that being said, that means that everybody in America, well, just about everybody in America of legal running age can literally be a politician. You are a politician. I am a politician. We're all politicians. I'm not a politician. I don't get involved in politics. Do you vote? Yeah. Do you follow Do you follow the political scene? Yeah. You're a politician. Boom. I mean, granted, there are certain things that you have to do in order to run for being a politician, but I'm not even going to get into that because the fact of the matter is that like because we put such a high position, like first of all, the president is not the ruler of America. I feel like we tend to like get this part really mixed up. The president is not the person in charge of America. They are just the face of the government. We have so many people involved in American government that is very, very, very hard to pay attention to who all does everything. We have the federal government, which is the federal Supreme Court, the federal National Congress, and the president, and who is also in charge of the executive branch. The executive branch is consisted of all the cabinet members. They have the Congress, which is not just the senators and the House of Representatives, but it's also the whips, the wigs, the people who and the personnel that they keep with them in order to help things run smoothly. They have their own assistants, okay? Who are just normal people that they just hire because, once again, these are jobs. These are just jobs. And then you have to go to the state and you have to go to the state level, the state and local level, which is you got like the governors, the state legislatures, the mayors, the aldermen, the councilmen, the tax collectors, the police chiefs, the police themselves. There's so many people that make up the American government that is easy to forget. that like the president is not just that one person. The president doesn't just say, okay, everything's gonna go my way because I'm the president. And I can't stress enough how Donald Trump wants that to be the case. My issue, I can't. There's so much that goes into. There's so much that goes into why I don't believe that Donald Trump should be president. But I want to take this time to just unpack this a little bit here. As you've probably already guessed, I'm not a Trump fan. I don't like Donald Trump. I don't like Trump supporters. I don't like these people. But I used to say I have a multitude of videos saying how much I hate these people. But I don't think I hate these people. I think I'm frustrated with them because of what they're willing to ignore and overlook to justify why they like this guy to begin with. And my problem is that like they make it seem like, oh no, it's not that I like him. It's like I'm voting for him for a political reason that's going to help out the country, and he's good for the economy. He's good for all this other stuff. And it's like, no, you're voting for him because you like him, or rather, you're voting for him because you don't like the other side. And that's not a good reason to support anything. You can't support something because you don't like what it's against. To put this in perspective, I can't. That's like asking to choose to be like, would you rather be submerged in water or be submerged in fire? And you're like, well, I'd rather be submerged in water because I don't like being submerged in fire. And it's like, and then you just drown anyway. You see what I'm saying? You can just simply say you like swimming. My biggest problem is that like, we are trying so hard, especially especially for men. We don't take time to actually come into contact with our emotions or our feelings or how we perceive things, because we always try our best to make everything logical. And in the process of trying to be logical, people are trying to make up political reasons why they think that Donald Trump would make a good president. And I can't stress enough, he will not. Like, it sounds like a terrible thing. It sounds biased as heck, but I can't stress enough. He will not be a good president. He was president before. He was not a good president. In one term, he's got like impeached twice. He got multiple indictments. He is responsible for so many terrible things. The majority of the people who work for him is like, no, like you can't have that many disgruntled workers from your company, okay? You just can't. There's so many people who don't like this guy in comparison to so many people who do, in comparison to the people that do. And everybody's response is, well, the other option is actually much worse. To which I say, is it though? Like, I understand that there's plenty of scruples and pretty dark marks for Kamala Harris, especially two big ones that people just really want to make relevant, and that is that she is not white and she is not male. These are apparently supposed to be considered two things that are against her, because every single person who I've seen who don't want to vote for her have basically used her gender and her. They're always saying, "Well, I don't want to vote for her just because she's a black woman," but take away that intonation for a second. I don't want to vote for her because she's a black woman. There you go. They're using it. They're saying, well, they're telling you to vote for her because she's a black woman. Nobody is doing that. Nobody is doing that. No one, in no context, is telling you vote for her just because she's a black woman. They're telling you to vote for somebody who isn't a felon. They're telling you, you're being told to vote for somebody who has experience working in courtrooms, not working in them more than being in them. They're telling you to vote for somebody who has years of experience being involved in politics. Whether or not she actually is a bad, her darkest marks are not nearly as bad as Trump's darkest marks. And my issue is that nobody wants to say the obvious part. You're voting for him because you like him. You can say that. But if you're going to like him, you can't just immediately say that he's incapable of doing anything wrong. You can't use that. If you have to accept the fact that Joe Biden is this terrible person who's rubbed elbows with Robert Byrd and all this other things, you got all of these terrible things to say about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. You have to also be open-minded to the idea that Trump might have also done bad things too. There was a picture on Threads not too long ago, and there was a picture on Threads, and it was like these two people were and it's like these people were on a boat, and they had like what pro-Trump flags, but they also had flags with something that rhymes with the word Mashka on it, and like and somebody I want to say the very first comment on that picture was, oh, so this is every Trump supporter just because it's certain Trump supporters, and my whole thing is yes, it is. Look, once again, I can't stress this enough. Warts and all. Warts and all. If you're going to like something, embrace the bad and the good. I can't, because nothing is perfect. You have to accept the fact that nothing is perfect. And if you accept, it's like, if you have to think that Donald Trump is perfect to support him, then you're acknowledging the fact that he is a terrible person, and the only reason why you're supporting him is because you like him. Or you want him to be perfect. And there's nothing wrong with wanting him to be perfect. There's nothing wrong with holding the guy to high standards. But if if you have to put him at this high pedestal, if you have to fake it, then he's probably not the guy you want to pick. Even if you don't like, I can't. Also, I want to take this time to point out real quick. I'm not telling you to vote for Kamala. I'm not telling you to vote for anybody. I'm just telling you, if you're going to support somebody, warts and all, also acknowledge the bad things that he's done. Acknowledge the bad people that support him. Acknowledge his problems. He's a felon. He's a felon who's found liable of assaulting more than one woman. And I can't stress this enough. Assaulting one woman is bad enough. The thing that I also don't like about Donald Trump is his supporters are willing to let him get away with something that they wouldn't let anyone else get away with. If you're going to vote for a felon to become president of the United States, then there's no point in asking about somebody's legal history on a job application. Do you see what I'm saying? If there's a job application, there shouldn't even be "Are you a convicted felon?" question on there. You're going to vote for one. Also, the fact that there's the whole concept of these people saying, "Oh yeah, well, actually, we're voting for him because he's good for the economy." In what way, dude? I was around when Trump was president. Stuff was still hard to get. Stuff was still expensive. I didn't have a car when Trump was president. I had to walk to work. You know why? Because the good economy didn't lower prices for a car for me. What are you talking about, good economy? Everything is expensive now. Things was expensive back then. If I vote for him, I'm supposed to just be like, yay, things are still expensive, but at least we got a different president. Yay. Actually, we got the same president from before, but I mean, things are going to get better the next time. What is happening? Another thing that I feel bad saying this stuff because I know that there are Trump supporters who are subscribed to me and they're going to be like, oh my God, he doesn't like Trump supporters. Let's unsubscribe. He's a terrible person. He's mean. And also the Trump 2024, heck yeah, you're going to lose, liberal. I'm not a liberal, by the way. I don't know what it means to be one. That's why I don't call myself one. I don't call myself a Democrat. I don't know what these words mean. That's why I don't claim this. I don't claim that seat. I'm just saying I don't like white supremacy. I don't like white supremacy, and I don't think that hassling black and brown people from other countries is going to fix every problem. I can assure you, messing with black and brown people from other countries is not going to make things cheaper. This dude said that he is going to assign tariffs to things. Do you not know what tariffs are? Did anybody not take history back in the day? Tariffs are taxes. How can you say you're a Republican because taxes are bad and then vote for the guy who's openly saying that he's going to put taxes on things? Things are going to be more expensive. How does this work? He's going to fix the economy by making things more expensive for poor people to buy. Let's not also forget the Supreme Court has made it the Supreme Court is still trying to make it illegal to be homeless in America. So if being homeless is illegal in America, and President Trump comes into office and just starts helping bump up the prices on everything, including a home to live in, this is going to just make it easier for people to go to prison, right? I know this sounds like a crazy conspiracy theory, but just bear with me here, because it's kind of what they're trying to do. But another thing too that I kind of don't like is the fact that there's so many people who are just loyal to Trump just because he's the Republican running. You know what I mean? Republicans have full control of Louisiana, and they're trying to put the Ten Commandments in classrooms. Republicans got full control of Florida, and they're trying to like put black people in prison for voting Democrat. Republicans got full control of Mississippi, and they just recently, I think either a year and a half ago, brought back Jim Crow laws. Why? I understand being a Democrat is considered this terrible thing, but why is being a Republican better? Answer me that. When I think of power and control in this country, I think of rich people. I think of corporations. I think of big business. I don't think of, the president. I think of big business. And I don't like the idea of big business being given power. And the majority of the time I hear about big businesses being given power is when Republicans be like, yeah, we should totally let these guys have more power and authority. I mean, isn't Mitch McConnell the reasons why corporations are considered people now? And money is considered free speech now? Isn't Mitch McConnell the Republican Senate Majority Leader responsible for that? I'm more aggravated by the fact that at the very at that it's like, well, how come you're not talking as bad about Democrats? Don't worry, I will. But the fact of the matter is that when Democrats act up and do things on their, they eat their own when something goes wrong. Like Al Franken is not there anymore. Why? Because of the picture that he took. He had to step down. You know what I'm saying? Bernie Sanders, wasn't he like a Democrat before he went independent? Joe Manchin, same thing. Kirsten Sinema. Manchin and Sinema, by the way, two of the worst people ever to exist. But the fact of the matter is that they're Democrats. Like I said, Menendez going to jail. Eric Adams going to jail. Hunter Biden. I don't even know if Hunter Biden is a Democrat, but he's in trouble now. When there's accountability in the Democratic Party. When something goes wrong, they eat their own. Republicans, on the other hand, have all just bent the knee to Donald Trump. There's some that haven't. Yes, I know I'm still fat. I'm working on it. There's some that haven't, though. And I'm just aggravated at the fact that these people have made it their own personal business to just make life as miserable as possible. My biggest problem is that for every Republican that wants to make life miserable for people that they don't like, there's others that are just genuinely scared. They just want life to. They clearly have been told their entire lives that something has to be a certain way, and life has to be a certain way. And they need to push this agenda that, hey, well, if things start to change, we have to find a way, we have to fight hard to bring things back. And the problem is that the way things were back then is the reason why things are so bad today. Everybody wants change now. Things should be different. White supremacy should not be in control of things anymore. It's just that that's what it is at the end of the day. We have to stop trying to spare feelings of white supremacists and start saying the quiet parts out loud. White supremacy is the reason why everything is as bad as it is. We need to challenge that and get rid of it. And this current election is white supremacy versus literally anything else. And the fact that it's so close is proof as to how powerful white supremacy is in this country. And we have to do something about that. We have to challenge it. Because I feel like if we challenge it, we win. White supremacy has done nothing but hurt people. We don't need it anymore. We don't need to enforce it anymore. We don't need to appease white supremacists anymore. Donald Trump is doing more than he's doing more than appeasing white supremacists. He is coddling them. He is saying, vote for me and I will protect this thing that we still have now. If you're going to vote for Donald Trump, know what you're getting. Know that you're getting a vote for somebody who said that he's going to be a fascist, a dictator on day one. Know that you're voting for somebody who said that he's going to make sure that you don't vote again after you vote for him. Know that you're voting for somebody who said that Joe Biden grew to become inept, but Kamala Harris was born inept. Even white supremacists have to hear that and go, I think he's giving the game away way too much there. I don't like what the future holds. I'm scared. I won't lie to you. And people gonna be like, you ain't got no reason to be scared. Donald Trump becoming president ain't gonna even affect you that badly. And it's like it did before, bro. There's people who I know who died of COVID. There's people who I know who were hurt by his presidency. I was hurt by his presidency. He's gonna make us all rich. He's gonna make us all rich. You know what happens when poor people get more money? Prices start going up on everything else. Only one president has actually said, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna at least address that issue. And it's not Trump. I'm not endorsing Kamala Harris. I'm not saying to vote for anybody. But I can't stress this enough. If you are going to vote for Donald Trump, know what you're voting for. Know what you're voting for. Pay close attention. Don't just look at all the good things or paint this picture in your head that he's going to fix every single problem just because he could say, the immigrants are bad. Pay attention. If not you, then I at least hope your kids do. Because, and I can't stress this enough, harassing people from other countries because of their skin color is not going to make anything cheaper. Love and peace.